Hey you guys, what is going on? We have new engine code jet tags available right now over at roadsuntraveled.com/shop. The link is in the description.
Normally when I was growing up, I saw that people have like R32s and Supras and not very many RX-7s. So I always wanted to be like that different person, hence why I have an Itasha on the car. It's pretty different. And no one really had rotaries and everyone was all about like, oh, it's a taboo to have a rotary. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong.
You guys, how insane does this FD RX-7 look? This is the most ridiculous RX-7 I've ever seen in my entire life, and that is why we're bringing it to you guys here on Roads Untraveled. Welcome and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Nikolai. This is my 1993 Mazda RX-7. Yeah, I bought the car when like just out of high school, so I've had it for just over 12 years now. And it had fairly mild modifications when I got it, a couple bolt-ons. And I've always loved RMME, and then the dream just like slowly built over the years to create it to what it is today.
So I came across this car on Instagram a few months ago. I saw that this car was local, my jaw hit the floor. And it was just across the water on Vancouver Island here. And we had to make the trip out to come and drive it. This is putting down, with the single turbo, about 400 to the wheels, give or take. No, it is not a big power, straight line, late spool kind of build. Oh yeah. You see this car on the road, and I mean, people are seeing this car on the road, asking to take photos. Like, it gives people joy because you can already tell, even if you're not into cars, you can tell how much passion and how much time and love and effort and money has been put into a build like this to make it perfect for the owner, okay?
Well, the kit that's on this car right now is the N105 kit from RMME. The Itasha is from one of the animes I really like, Heaven's Lost Property. And I wanted to go with this character. I wanted like the nice pinks and to go with like the blacks. And I thought that this character would look really nice with her wings like flowing down the back of the car, and then having like the feathers flowing as like giving motion to the vehicle, even if it's not moving, just to give that like that visual aspect. And then from there, I wanted to stay true to the feel of true Itasha, and also mix in a little bit of like racing, like GT or Le Mans style, like Liberty. So I did like a smash between the two of them with an artist out of LA named Stoops, who owns Stray Vanity. And I worked really closely with him for the last year and a half to design what we have here today. And it was many hours of measuring and tweaking and moving things around to get it just where we are today. It's a one-off design, yeah. Everything was drawn from scratch, original by hand, and then 3D rendered onto the car, printed onto a vinyl, and then applied, and here we go. So a lot of hours and a lot of late nights.
But how cool is this livery? This entire Japanese anime theme, okay, that's been done out specifically custom for this car, combined with the essence and the influence of Le Mans livery and the numbers and everything and decals all over the car, inside and out. It takes your breath away. So it has the OEM two-way limited slip differential in the rear. Like I said, Mazda knew what they were doing, and this is why I love 90s Japan so much. Nothing is skimped on from the factory, and 400 wheel horsepower is plenty, especially with a turbo like this that spools up very smoothly. There's no big hit, there's no big lag, none of that crap here on the street. You're in a car that can actually be dailied, okay? These cars are very easy to drive too. You know, you get into the brakes and the confidence when you go to slam your heel into that throttle pedal. Nothing on this car has been untouched. In fact, right now it actually has a brand new ACT lightweight flywheel that's just been put in, maybe a few thousand kilometers on it. It has a sprung clutch, stage 2, but sprung clutch, so it's very nice to drive on the street. It's totally daily drivable, and honestly it is. The only thing that would prevent it from not being daily drivable is maybe the visibility, because you've got these harnesses on. But other than that, it's just a joy to drive. It's just a joy. Wow. Oh, if you guys haven't already fallen in love with this car, you're not going to.
I mainly wanted to have like a daily drivable car, but still have that performance that I wanted to, like have fun in the bends and go to occasional track day. And we decided to go with a single turbo, but the thing is I didn't want to have much turbo lag, so we went with a twin scroll. Kind of feels almost like the two twins that I had before, which is nice because I like that like snappy power right away. So I'm not like waiting and waiting and waiting for a big pull and then I get it, but then you're already out of the bend and then you're on to the next corner. So, and having the power when you wanted it instead of waiting days. Yeah, well, I went over to Japan to see one of my best friends who lives in Nagoya. I had already purchased some lights from Car Shop Glow for my taillights, and then I went over and I met the owner, Ken, and he was super nice. His hospitality was beyond like what I imagined. I got the bumper lights from him when I was there, which are fantastic. And while I was also there, I got to go to Armenia and meet all the people there, which was fantastic. And I brought back a little shift knob from them, and I showed them pictures of my car. Too bad I couldn't have it there, but in Japan, you'll see like lots of cars that are like really outrageous body kits on them, more like things that are over the top. Yeah, and I brought like slowly little parts back with me, and it was fantastic. Just the experience being over there, and just to see like the true like the nightlife of all the true Japanese imports, and driving the Wanga Highway and going to Daikoku. And
it's not very often you get someone who's actually fortunate enough to take a trip to Japan and to experience where all of these cars came from, specifically also the FD RX-7. Like, this car is one of the greats, okay? And I'll tell you why. This is exactly why. First, 50-50 weight distribution, okay? From a driving perspective, that is perfect. That is exactly what you want all the time, okay? Rotary engine, that's insane. The only cars to have rotary engines, RX-7s, RX-8s. And the final thing that makes the FD RX-7 one of the greats from 90s Japan is the fact that there's no driver aids whatsoever, okay? This car, other than power steering, that's the only one, and I'm glad it does have power steering. There's no ABS, okay? If I slam on the brakes, the front tires are locking up, okay? Also, No traction control, obviously. No stability control. It's a manual. The list goes on and on and on. It is so incredibly raw. And the rotary itself, the way you have to maintain it, the way you have to care for it, you gotta add in oil. You gotta, the apex seals start to go. You gotta rebuild them. To expect to rebuild the engine at some point. That's what I've been told. And I will heed that warning. And not even a warning. I mean, that is a privilege.
It is a fun daily, but it's an expensive daily. But true enthusiast, and I love it, and I live for that, so I enjoy driving it every day. I have actually had 4 people in the car. It is painfully awkward. I had to put them in through the trunk because the seats don't recline anymore, but it's something I don't recommend anymore. On the front here, I'm running a stagger fitment, so I got 9.5 in the front with a 10.5 in the rear. And I'm 245, 35 on the front, and 275, 35 in the rear. It is a Nurspec Blitz exhaust, 3.5-inch straight back. I'd just like to shout out to Alex Stoops and Straight Vanity for all the work they put into creating the Natasha, and Blaine at Carmena Performance for all the many hours and late nights of him putting my engine together and creating it to what it is today. All my other Natasha friends that I've met along the way, and more that I will meet.
I've never felt an FD like this. I mean, I've only driven a handful of RX-7s, but I can honestly say, out of any of them, the power band on this is the most desirable, at least in my opinion, for a street car. Nice, tight, small steering wheel. No, I cannot see half the tach. What do I see? I see 2,000 RPM, then I don't see anything till 7,000 RPM, 500 before red line. Perfect. One of the best parts about this car is absolutely the view out of that back. What do I have? I've got a Sparco seat, I've got a roll cage, and then I've got a massive wing, a really big wing. The interior, the styling too. I think this is probably the best looking car that came out of Japan in the 1990s. If not, definitely top 3. Even with this tight suspension, very low center of gravity, you can feel the weight transfer almost perfectly, right? There's no, oh shit, I just lost grip. It's, oh, okay, I'm on my way to losing grip, so let's reel it back a little bit, This has got to be one of my favorite cars I've ever driven, hands down. 400 with this turbo, this amount of spool, this tune. Shout out to Carmena Performance, by the way. Blaine over at Carmena, you have done a fantastic job with this car. Same guys who actually installed my Link G4 in my MR2 and got my car actually running on the road and off the tow truck. I also have to give a shout out to our new jet tags we've got on the store for the FD3S, the 13B. They're up there. If you want to rep this engine, if you have an FD, or even if you love the FD and this engine that's under the hood, the 13B, definitely hit up our store, roadsuntraveled.com/shop, and get your own jet tag right now. Only for you guys watching this video, 25% off, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit us up on Instagram at roadsuntraveled. Hit this car up on Instagram. It is in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time. Woo! All right, you guys, that's it. What a good day. What a good day.